name's Adam. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a rosary out of twine. So, I'm going to make this short and sweet, show you all the pieces. So, let's do it. Let's get started. So, there are a few steps you need to know. The first one, the most important one, well, probably not the most important one. You need to have the right amount of twine, because you see, twine actually from twinebydesign.com is expensive. It's almost $20 for a single order, so that's one roll of twine. And if you get too much, then you could be wasting the roll, and we could have made more rosaries out of that. But if you get too little, we'll cut that part out. You make the entire rosary, and then you realize you don't have enough for the last few decades, or the last few beads, or the cross or something. And so you end up actually wasting a lot more twine. So here's how we're going to do this. I'll show you. There's a certain method that makes it the easiest. So this is how it goes. So you put the roll of twine on the ground, and then just that way you have your two hands free. And what you do is you take the end of the twine, and holding one hand at the center of your chest, you bring it out like that, and that's considered one arm length. And so, as you probably know, everyone has different lengths. Everyone has different lengths of arms. You know, I'm around 6 feet tall, and so my arm is going to be longer than someone who's 5 feet tall. And so, for me, I would say, to be safe yet conservative, do 8 arm lengths. Hey, I was just kidding about that whole 8 arm lengths thing for a 6 foot individual. If you're a 6 foot individual, you probably want around 7. I would say yes, 7 arm lengths. That way you're a little more conservative. Say you're a 5 foot individual, I would go 8 to 9 arm lengths. So we're going to go 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is already cut, the string, so, but that's 8 arm lengths right there. And then the next step is you're going to take your two ends. Don't mind this curly string right here. I had already made some beads, and now they're being difficult. So take your two ends, and you want to find the middle of your string, and that's actually where you're going to start your rosary. When you start making beads, it is in the middle of the 3rd decade that you start in. So I have a bit of a knot here. So you just take your string, and then you find the middle. So there you go, that's my middle right there. So you're going to grab that, and then this is where you'll start. So, next step I'll show you how to make a bead. Alright, first Hail Mary bead. Ready? So I have 2 here. This is what you want to go for. Looks just like right next to each other. You get 3 strings right next to each other. If you flip this one around, you just see the 2 crossing over like that. That's the ideal right here, and that's what you want to go for. You also want to go for this spacing between the Hail Mary beads. So, alright, here we go. We're going to do another one. So you take it, and you try to get this one pretty close. And so you take it, you go around your index finger like that, and then you go back over on the other side, and that counts as 1, 2, 3, and so you're going to slide it off your index finger, keeping that shape, and then take this string, put it through the back like that, and then you'll see that crossing over. You want to grab that, and bring it on through. Tell you what. behold. Now you have, this is where you want to be at right here. So you have still the 3 strings kind of aligned. So you can kind of see how it's like this, but you are just needing to tighten it. So you're gonna tighten it and keep the shape, tighten it, and keep it also close to this one. And so you'll just kind of work it back over here. And boom. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Bring it through the back. I'm going a little faster this time. And bring it on through. Oh, there's a little knot here. Get out of here. And then tighten that sucker. Okay, so we have an impasse here. As you can see, it's not uniform the way we want it to be. Sometimes, really the only way to get around these and get faster at it is when you know what it's supposed to look like and how it's like supposed to feel whenever you're tightening it. So here I can kind of tell this needs to go over that, so I'm just going to do that real quick. And I was wrong. So sometimes it doesn't do what you want, so you need to just take it apart and try again. So I don't want to give whoever I'm going to give this rosary to, I don't want to give them a bead that looks like that. So I'm just going to redo this one. Alright, 15th time is a charm. I'm just kidding, it doesn't take that many times. Whenever you're first starting out, sometimes it takes a while, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quick, as long as you practice. So another bead real quick for the Hail Mary. 1, 2, 3, like that. And bring it through the back. Oh my goodness. No. There. That was a close one. So sometimes you get a little farther out than you want it to be, but you can just really tighten it and get it close. So there we go. So I'm going to make a decade real quick, and then we'll get to the Our Father. Alright, Our Father bead, here we go. We're going to go over once. It's the same as a Hail Mary. 1, 2, 3, except this time you go 4. And sometimes you can kind of see the difference between an Our Father bead and a Hail Mary bead. Most of the time you can't. We do this anyway, because there is a slight difference. So, bring that puppy in. Come on now. You want it to be a little more spaced from the Hail Marys, like so. And there you go. Behold. Alright, so what you're going to do from here, you're going to make an Our Father on this side, and you're going to keep alternating which sides. So my first bead was here, and I made 10. So I think for the next decade, I'll go this way, because you have even amounts of string on each side. And so you need to make sure that you don't use up too much string on one side, which is why you alternate. But if you don't want to alternate, you can just go like 3 decades going here, 2 decades going the other way. It'll get you the same results. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to make all of my decades, and then we'll talk about the centerpiece and the crucifix. Now, when you're in the middle of a decade, I find it best to count the beads every time. Every time you make another bead, count how many you have left. That way, you don't lose track. So I have my 5 decades now, as you can see. So now you get to this point where you need to join these two pieces, but you don't know how. Well, there's a solution. So you want to bring your rosary together and make sure it's not all twisty and gross. So you're going to have your strings, and you're going to do the same thing that you've been doing, except you're going to have 2 strings together. So you're basically going to make a Hail Mary bead, but with 2. So here's how that is done. Like this. 1, except I only go over 2 because it gets really bulky. 2. And then you slide that off, and you bring these 2 back through the back, just as we have been doing and have learned. So now you have that. You just bring it together, and you tighten that sucker. And behold, it looks okay. So now you have these 2 strings just protruding out of here, but you don't want them. And by the way, I grabbed a little too much string. That is not conservative of me. So what you want to do is burn off the shorter string. Now you can burn it, you can use scissors, you can do whatever you want. I just find it more convenient to burn it because you have to burn the ends anyway. So let me find my shortest string here. It is this guy. So you'll take it in your hands like so, and pull it apart as you burn it, and then you have that. And then burn that end. Probably catch on fire here. That's okay. Just don't burn the building down. Ow. Alright. So now you have that. And now you have 1 string to work with for on our Father Bead, 3 Hail Marys, and then another Our Father. And we'll get to the crucifix here in a second. Alright, so now for the crucifix. So that other string that we burned off, we're going to actually keep that because it's going to be used for the crucifix. But for the vertical portions of the crucifix, you're doing essentially the same thing as you have been. Same pattern of knots. And so here we go. For the top part of the crucifix, we're going to do that, but we're going to do 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's kind of harder the more you go. Get on in there. So grab that, bring it through, and then a bunch of string that you need to tighten. Be good now. Come on, it's messed up. No, it's not. It's perfect. So if you want to tighten it and pull it a little more so that it's lengthy, you can do that rather than trying to bunch it up like you did with the beads. Like so. There we go. And then you're going to do the same thing on the bottom, but if you can do just 5 like you did on top. But if you want to do more, if you're able, what's that, like 5 or 6, I don't know, then you can try to do more. You might have to make it a little looser. And there we go. Stage shape. Stay in shape. So these two knots, when you're about to tighten it, there's a part that goes in more and then it comes back a little more. So you kind of want to align those if you can. So on this one, I want it to be like that, so that there's kind of a little valley, if you can see. Which it didn't work much, did it? Good enough. Here you go. Want just a very slight gap right there, like that. Alright, and then you're going to burn this piece off. Where in tarnation is my lighter? Here it is. Here we go. You don't want a giant glob sitting there, so you want to, ouch, burn that down. Helps to wet your fingers with your own saliva. So, there we go. And now with that other string, you actually don't have to burn that off right away, because you use this other string. So what you're going to do, you're going to make a simple knot, but you're not going to tighten it. So just like that. And then get it to about there and bring it around onto the crucifix. And where you had the larger point, the wider point of your gap right here, that's where you want the majority of the string to be. So the top of this knot to tighten. And there you go. Now it's just a simple stretched out our Father Bead like you did on the top. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring that puppy in there. Get close. Come on now. Come on. In there. There we go. And then on the other side. So, you're done. I'm just kidding. You burn these off without burning your rosary. You want to burn it close, but not too close, so that you're not burning the knot itself. And behold. So there you have it. That's how to make a twine rosary. I hope this video was helpful and gets you excited about making rosaries for good people of God. So, thank you.